my channel. I hope you all are doing extremely good. So guys, what am I going to do today? So today I'm going to make a video on how was my interview experience with Mindtree. So I'm going to do that, and so for as promised guys, from my last video, so as you all know that I have switched my organization. So earlier I used to work in Accenture, and currently I have moved to some other new organization. I'll let you know about it, but for today, so for those kind of information and everything related to the kind of interviews I've attended, the where have I attended the interviews, and how did I do, so all these kind of things, I wanted to keep it in one kind of series. So I will be naming that series as Beautiful You and Me, It's Official, and I will be tagging the episode name like episode 1, 2, or part 1 or part 2. Okay, so guys, yeah, that is the piece of information, and yeah, so let's start with the video. बट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग अ वीडियो गाइस, आपको एक काम तो बिल्कुल ही करना चाहिए. प्लीज आप जाके सब्सक्राइब बटन पे सब्सक्राइब कर दो और ये वीडियो लाइक कर देना एंड शेयर भी कर देना. So first question, like which job portal I approach for uploading my videos. So I would like to say it is only one website or one app that I am following, that is Naukri.com. So this is not my first switch, so this was my second switch. Earlier I used to work in HCL. My very first company was HCL, so I switched from HCL to Accenture with the help of Naukri, and then again from Accenture to other organization with the help of Naukri. So yeah, I truly believe in Naukri, and I have got so many opportunities through Naukri. So I'm very thankful to Naukri, and I would suggest you people, if you want, please go ahead with Naukri. It is one of the best website or app or job portal I've seen ever till now. So yeah, so I uploaded my resume in Naukri.com, and through that consultancy people actually contacted me. So I think I uploaded my resume at around January, and I got a call for an interview in the month of March. Yeah, so it was in the month of March that consultancy people contacted me, and they told me all the information, the GD, the job description. So it was for the role of TIPCO developer, and I was looking for TIPCO developer, and they had few experience band range from somewhat around 3 to maybe 5 or 6, I don't know exactly, but for me it was that because I was going to be 5-year experience. Right now I am 5-year experience, but when it started with March, I was around 4.7 years of experience, and I started like that, and now I've landed up being 5-year experience in my current organization. So that's how it started. So that's how my interview got scheduled with Mindtree from consultancy person, and yeah, and before going for an interview, you need to make few things confirm, which I always do. So firstly, I go through the JD very properly, and because it should match with whatever role and responsibility you are looking for, and whatever you have worked on, whatever you have an experience on. So first thing is that, and second part is whether the job is whatever they are offering is permanent or on the basis of contract. So I definitely prefer a permanent role, because I don't want to get into all those where your contract is going to get over, and now you have to look you have got a lot of tension. So I don't do that. And third part is that you need to know about what you're expecting. Just tell them what you're expecting, because, and this is the question they themselves will be asking, whether what is your current CTC and what you're expecting. And fourth thing is that you need to confirm whether it is into direct payroll of that particular organization, or they are like some third party or client. So these kind of question you need to confirm, guys, during before going for an interview. So yeah, these are the things which I made clear, and then next day I went for an interview. And but before that, they had also asked me like which time would I prefer, and this was scheduled on weekends. So Mindtree does their interview scheduling during weekend also. I'm not sure about weekdays, but weekend they do. That is very good for every one of us, because Monday to Friday we are working, and if we go for weekends, so Saturday and Sunday, so that is very much helpful for us. So yeah, that was the thing. And before scheduling the interview with Mindtree consultancy, people actually ask me like which time do I prefer, the interview, for giving an interview. So I told them that I would prefer like 11 o'clock because I wanted to be safe, with that time range. But usually what I do is that as soon as possible, in the morning, if I'm able to reach the interview spot at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I prefer going very early, because I always like going very early for an interview. I don't like, going at around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, if I have an option. So I do that because in the morning you're very fresh and you don't see many people giving an interview and taking that kind of stress. So I don't do that. So even though I told them that I will be preferring 11 o'clock, I reached very early only. I think I reached around 10. Yeah, I reached around 10. Yeah, so I reached for an interview the next morning and I reached at around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So I don't remember the exact time, but I reached earlier. Okay, and when I reached, so that was the Whitefield office that I had reached, and the normal thing was going on. I had to just sign a register for my entry and I had to give some my PAN card ID or something like that, and I got a badge, and then they shared me the information like where exactly the interview was happening. So I went there, and when I went there, I saw that a few people were already sitting there. 2 to 3 people were already sitting there, and few people were already taking up the interview. So I just went there. I gave my resume to the POC and just sat there and was waiting for my turn. Yeah, and I went for an interview with an attitude like because I was prepared. I was knowing that maybe 90% I can do it completely. I can do it. Excuse me, guys. I'm having cold, so please excuse me about that. And 90% I was like sure that I would be able to do it, and other than 10% I was really not sure because anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I'm not sure about that. Yeah, so I was just waiting for my turn, and my turn finally came, and I was like, ठीक है, देखते हैं जो भी होता है, हुआ तो भी ठीक है, नहीं हुआ तो भी ठीक है, because you cannot just sit and regret and be sad about the things that has not worked out for you. But since the Mindtree was, I really wanted to work with Mindtree, and I'd heard very good things about Mindtree. So I did not wanted, to miss this opportunity with them. So I went for an interview. So yeah, I met with an interviewer, and the regular stuff started like the first question, like tell me about yourself. I gave him all my details, like I used to work in so and so organization, and I have an overall experience of this much, and I worked on this technology, and like that the interview started, and he had asked me so many stuff, right from development to the deployment part, from the testing part. So everything he has asked me, and the interview was going so much. It was like, I can tell you, like it was nearly about 40 to 45 minutes. He has so many questions to ask me. So I was just giving an answer, and I was like, okay, when will it get finished? At one point of time, till few minutes I was like, oh yeah, okay. I was answering all his questions actually, because I was very much sure, and few things I did not know, and I had told him that I have not worked on it, so I do not know it. So this was my answer, and but basically till the time my interview was happening and everything was happening, so yeah, I was into the moment, like okay, these are the questions he's asking, and at last he said that okay, your interview is done, and I have to wait and sit back to get to know their response, like whether I have to go back to my home or go for an other round. So yeah, so I was just waiting for that. And after giving an interview, I had a strong feeling that definitely I'm going for second round, because I somehow knew, because when you're giving your interview, you would definitely get to know, and you will get that vibes that whether you have crossed that interview or not. So I was pretty much confirmed that definitely I'm going for second round of interview. So I was sitting back, and by that time the other person who had already given the second round of interview, I was like querying like how many rounds of interview are there. So according to him, it was like this was the second technical round he has given. So, and one more round will be them. So I was expecting that one more technical round was going to happen. So my POC had come back to now, and she took me to other place, and she shared me the news that I can go for the other round. So I went for other round thinking of it as to be a technical round, but to my surprise, when I reached there, it was not a technical round. It was the last round. It was the last round, and it was not exactly even the HR round. I would because the kind of questions he were asking is how was your interview? That was his first question, and then he was asking about me the timings, like are you okay with the shift timings, or any kind of general timing, or any what are you comfortable with? Are you okay with this kind of location, because they have their location of Global Village? So he was asking me these stuffs. He was asking me like what is the current CTC and what am I expecting, and am I sure to join the organization? So these kind of questions he was asking. So I gave all the questions answer to him, and that was for some 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes it was, because he was asking so many questions, and that I think that was some like management kind of questions. So I think they were checking on like is she flexible to work on, or how much sure she is to work with us. Those kind of questions are actually going on. So regarding my shift timing, they asked me like what are you okay to work in shift timing? So for that my answer was yeah, I'm okay to work with shift timing, provided it is maximum by 8 o'clock, or by 8 o'clock, and apart from that so I'm okay to work till 8 o'clock, and and in case if they want my if they want my, what do I say that, what is that word, if they want my support, if they want my support in weekends, so I'm ready to give that. So I had answered him like that. And because whenever someone is asking you about the shift timing, you should not directly you should not tell them directly that no, I do not want to work in shift time. Give them a valid answer with a proper justification, because otherwise it doesn't sound good. And in the meanwhile, I was also confused, like why for me only one technical round and for others there were two technical round. I was really very happy about it, because I had to give only one round of interview, but I had this question. So to that, I'm getting only 2-3 kind of answers to it. Either my interview was like very good, because it was for 40 to 45 minutes and I have almost answered everything. So that was the thing. So maybe my interview might be more good than others, so that's why maybe one round. And second thing is also that maybe I had got a preference because of my working in latest technology in TIPCO. So I am currently working, I had already worked on current version and current technology on TIPCO, that is TIPCO Container Edition, that is related to cloud. So just because for this skill people are really very less, and very few people have experience on that, so I am thinking that maybe I got preference because of this. So basically there is like two reasons, because for sure it is not just because I'm girl, or maybe because of that. No, because my interview had gone really very well. It was for 40 to 45 minutes and he had asked me all the kind of questions, okay. So yeah, that was the thing. because even I'll tell you about CTS. Because for CTS, initially for few people there were like 2 rounds of interviews, and for me it was like 3 rounds of interview, because that person who was taking my second round, he was actually not a TIPCO container edition person. He had not worked on it, so he wanted me to take a one more interview for my latest technology. So that's how 3 interview came into picture instead of 2, because for others it was like 2 rounds, because maybe they had not worked on container edition and they were looking something more on container edition. So that's how. So this is the thing. And wow, I was really happy that I got through the interview, and I was so excited. I was very happy. And after that, my POC told me that there will be one more round, that is the final and HR round, where you will get to discuss your salary. And yeah, the HR will be discussing the salary with me, and yeah, that would be the round. And so since I have given an interview on Saturday, and she conveyed me that HR call would be coming by Monday. Like, by Monday they will be sorting out each and everything. But yeah, moving on. So but Monday I did not receive any call from them, and I was so, I was like, why did I not get a call? And I was worried about that. So I would just wait. I thought I'll wait for some time. I thought I'll wait for some 2 or 3 days. So I waited till that time. Also the HR call was not coming to me. So what I did is, like, I contacted my POC person who was who conveyed me this information. So I contacted her, and I was like, I do not get any HR call. So by that time, like, she told me, yeah, you will be getting your call in tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. So I was like, okay, fine, let the call come. And even after that call, I did not receive any call. And again, I was like worried, why am I not getting calls? So I contacted the POC person again, and I said that I was expecting an HR call, but I did not receive. So she told me that, okay, I will arrange an HR call and I will intimate you. And yeah, and finally after few days, like 2-3 days, I received a call from HR. And finally I got to discuss my salary structure, and they were telling me about all those details. And the best part about Mindtree, whatever salary structure they are offering, is that the variable part is like that is not exactly a variable part. So they said that there is going to be some 12% of variable pay. 6% you will be getting it in every month, and rest 6% you will be getting in every 4 months. So that was not exactly a variable. So you will be getting each and everything. Actually, there is no exact variable pay. That is all fixed. So I was very, very, very happy about it. Finally everything was done, and then for releasing an offer letter, they took time, because for releasing an offer letter, usually an organization takes time. So I got this offer letter in the month of March. So I got this offer letter in the month of March, and after few days, 1 or 2 days, I dropped a paper. Yeah, that was my story, and that was my experience with Mindtree. And yeah, guys, I hope you all liked it. I hope you all liked it. And if you like my video, then please give it a like, share and subscribe to bilkul karna. Subscribe karna bhulna mat. Please guys, please subscribe. And I will be meeting you soon. I will be meeting you soon for the next video. And I'm thinking to bring something more like CTS. And yeah.